Welcome to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm your host, Tonia Pyle, and my guest today is Doris Lance, sharing with us about the Rademacher Hills. Doris, thank you for joining me today. When I was requested to do a talk on Rademacher Hills, you were the first person who came to my mind. I don't know anybody who knows these hills better than you.
Well, there may be some people out there, but I tell you, they're a treasure for anyone who lives in this area.
Okay. Well, I want to just sort of go over a little review here because I noticed that a lot of people pronounce this a lot of different ways.
Oh, yes.
It's spelled Rademacher. This is my inventive whiteboard. Now, I did the how to pronounce, and I found that it could be pronounced Rademacher. Rademacher.
Rademacher.
How do you pronounce it?
Well, until I looked it up, because I usually said Rod, R-O-D, Rademacher. It's Rademacher.
Okay. Well, they also have Rademacher.
Oh, okay.
Rademacher.
That's true.
And Rademacher. And believe it or not, there's even Rademacher.
Oh, Rademacher.
Oh, Rademacher.
The big
I'm
R.
not quite Tim Russer with his whiteboard, but this was the best I could do. But I thought it would be fun to have a little review. So no matter how they pronounce it, we're talking about the Rademacher Hills.
Yes.
Ridgecrest.
Yes.
So now, why would someone ask me, Doris, about the Rademacher Hills?
Well, I think it's a hidden treasure.
Okay.
It's such a multifunctional area. It's desert landscape, desert terrain with rocks and some incline, but it's a perfect place to take, your family to go on a hike, to just get in a quick workout, or just go explore the wildflowers or the geology of the area.
Now, I understand it said, I read there were 11 trailheads. What does that mean?
That means that at the kiosk, there's a kiosk right at the beginning. When you go to the Rademachers, there's a kiosk and it shows the various trails that you can choose based on the level. So if you just want a quick workout and not too much elevation, then you have one trail. So the 11 options can fit just about anyone's fitness level, really.
Does the kiosk indicate what level the different ones are, or how would you know?
It does not. I think that's part of the exploration, is for you to look for the length and the elevation gain, which it does have, and then decide and then try it, and then you'll know next time, well, maybe I want to go a little further, or maybe I want to do the 8.5 loop. Because there is one. Okay.
Do you get that information from
the
kiosk? And now, when it says trailhead, are we talking about that's the top of the trail or the peak? Or
the trailhead is actually the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
So there are 11 trailheads.
Well, what's the top or the peak? Or?
The peak, there is, well,
It's
there's
the
there's a saddle.
Okay.
A saddle is between two higher elevations. That's called a saddle. And then there's Sky Point. Which is, I think, about 2,900 feet. And then there's Andrews Peak, which is a little further south, and it's over 3,000. So, based on your level of fitness, your interest, how much time you have, you can choose all or nothing or part.
Okay. And so this is this Rademacher has trails for the entire family?
Absolutely.
Or an avid hiker?
Absolutely. It has bike trails. It has horseback riding trails.
Okay.
It has group trails where you can take a larger group and maybe meet at a bench, because they have little benches, and some of the markers of the bushes are telling you if it's rabbit brush or brittle bush or whatever is along that area when it's in bloom in the springtime.
Okay, well, do they have any of the wild mustangs running around those hills?
Not those hills.
Not those hills.
Not those hills. The wild
Because-
mustangs that I have seen, and I have seen quite a few, are more in the Cosos. And the Rademachers are close to the El Paso mountain
Okay.
range, and that's south of Ridgecrest. And the Cosos are a little bit north and a little bit east, and that seems to be one of the places where the wild mustangs and burros really like to, well, there's less traffic and there's vegetation, so, and more higher elevations, like,
In the other hills. In
yeah, the other
areas.
canyons, like Renegade Canyon is 5,000 feet, and you don't get that high in the southern end of Ridgecrest.
Okay, so so then these are just popular trails, but we've got a lot of popular trails, and I know that you had actually. I want to, when we come back from a break, we're going to have a short break here shortly.
Okay.
And I want to talk about your phone app, because
Oh,
it did a
yes.
really neat thing. So if you need to grab that one, oh, you've got it here with you. Good.
I never go anywhere
Okay.
without it.
Yeah, so then I want to talk about the app people can get for the range of hills around here. But okay, so Rademacher is a varied level of ability,
Absolutely.
and of course it has the wildflowers and all of that.
It has wildflowers. It has, I've seen lots of different animals. I mean, it has the, you know, the desert
Okay.
fox, coyote, and those kind of things.
Okay, and it's south of here.
Yes, it is.
on
It's
the
south of
South Range.
Ridgecrest off of College Heights Boulevard.
Oh, okay. So you just drive out there and you can leave your vehicle and
Yes.
is there a parking structure?
There is. The Bureau of Land Management has done a very good job of, at the end of the road, there's a parking structure and you leave your car there. I would suggest that, you know, you lock it and get your gear and just go.
Okay. Well, that's a good thought. We'll just hold on that. We'll come back from our break and talk about your phone app and the other ranges that are out there for people to experience.
Good.
Okay? Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
All right. All right, welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk. We're joining us today is Doris Lance, and a lot of people know Doris from the base with your public affairs experience. Other people know you from your class and your yoga class.
Yes, I'm a yoga instructor.
And then, of course, like I said, you were the first person who came to my mind because I don't know anyone who knows these hills better than you do. Always out there climbing, and so. And then, of course, you just launched your Tours by Locals also.
I did,
That's
yes.
cool.
It's really wonderful. You can, it's all electronic. It's toursbylocals.com. And you just plug in where you want to hike or explore. And one good thing that I really like about it is that it starts with recreational hiking. So recreational hiking, a good, I guess, definition of it would be that it's getting you out in nature and getting you comfortable with the shoes, with the climate, with drinking the
surroundings.
water, yeah, and what you might find on a hike.
Okay. Well, right now I want to focus on your application, which is so cool that you showed me it. It showed the entire range, like little people lined up.
Yes.
Of the hills. So, what are some of the other hills in the range with Rademacher?
Well, you have one of the real treasure just south of the Rademachers is the El Paso mountain range. And a lot of these ranges, the trails that you find on the ranges, are from miners, prospectors, who came back in like the late 1800s or the early 1900s. And I'm pretty sure the Rademachers was one of those, is where there was a mining company. And so you have prospectors who were looking for gold or, you know, they were looking for their pot of gold, no matter what it was.
Their treasure.
Yes. And so I have also hiked other wagon train trails, like one in Death Valley, where that was the wagon train trail that they took trying to explore and get over the mountains.
Now, is that on your app?
It is on the app.
Or what was on that app where they were all lined up? What app is it that people can get to?
Well, there's two apps that I would suggest.
Okay.
One is mapmyhike.com.
Is that yours? Is that the one you have?
That's the one I usually...
Mapmyhike.com. Oh, okay.
And here's the good part about mapmyhike.com. It gives you an icon. It shows it. And then you
Looks
go
like
in.
a hiker.
Yes. And then you go in and you decide if you want to record your workout. You choose your workout and you record it, whether you're going to walk or you're going to hike. And you start, and then it says, if I push it, it's going to say, start walking.
Start walking.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
Or you
oh, that's Nancy Sinatra, right? Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
No, these boots are made for walking.
Yes.
Right? Sorry.
Or let's say you go and you forget your phone.
Uh-huh.
You can go home.
Yes, you can.
And
you better.
You can log a workout if you missed it.
Okay.
And in the logging of the workout, you can say, what was the distance? Well, I'm not sure. Well, what was the duration? An hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
And then it tells you the calories that you burned. And you can log that and save it so that you know that you're, getting some amount of exercise.
Well, what's the other app?
The other one that I really like as well is All Trails with an apostrophe s.com.
Alltrails.com or
mapmyhike.com. Yes, and both of them are excellent. They show you the incline. They don't get very technical with topo maps. They can, but that's for a more advanced backpacker hiker to really know about topo maps and understand.
What's a topo map?
A topo map is
I'm not very advanced.
Okay, is a visual of the incline, and the lines that are closer together let you know that the elevation is going up. So when they show a mountain peak, such as Sky Point or Andrews Peak, which is in the Rademachers.
Okay, is that the lineup I saw?
Yes, that's the lineup.
Are you going to be able to show me that?
I won't be able because you need to
we
be
were
out
there.
Yes,
so
and
it
this comes
picked
from
those
satellite.
up, and it
comes from satellite.
Okay. So, all right. Well, can you just tell me what those were, or do you know the names of some of those?
Well, Andrews Peak is a little over 3,000 feet. It's,
all right.
It's in that 11 trailhead trail system. They call it the Rademacher Trail System.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sky Point is 2,997 feet if you go to the top.
So they're all going to be in that 3,000 range?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for this particular
3,000 above Ridgecrest.
3,000 feet total. Ridgecrest is anywhere from, depending on where you are,
right,
2,300 to 2,600. So, that's about a 300 or 400 feet gain. So it's not astronomical.
Which one would be an advanced hiker?
I would say either the figure 8, which is the 8.5, and it starts at the Sunland Trail.
Okay.
Or to do part of the figure 8, so that could be the bottom loop or the top loop, for someone who's just wanting to put on some hiking shoes, take some water, take their sunglasses, take their hat and some sunscreen, and go out and have a nice hike.
Just to get outside and just to do some walking.
Yes.
Okay.
And early morning is very good when the temperature is so warm. When I first moved here,
before it gets so warm.
Yes. Because when I moved here, the Rademachers were it was my stair climber, basically.
Was it?
Because I didn't want to go inside. Nothing wrong with doing workouts and the stair climber in the gym. But I wanted to go out exploring, and it ended up being my outdoor stair climber.
And then you had your app to track your progress in your achievement, and very nice.
It was, and I was actually by myself until I found some friends who do the Rademachers, and I was.
Uh-oh, you didn't say you go out by yourself, did you?
I did.
Uh-oh. Well, let's keep that under our hat, because I
Okay.
like to encourage people to go out with
That's very
the buddy
smart.
system.
That's very smart. Very, very smart. I would suggest that definitely.
Well, when we come back from our short, hold that thought. You were just going to say something. Don't forget it.
Okay.
We're getting ready to take a short break, and so we're going to come back.
Sure.
Pick up.
Great.
Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk. Joining me today is Doris Lance with Tours by Locals, talking to us about the Rademacher Trails and other hills in the ranges around Ridgecrest. But I want to make sure that we talk about preparation for these trails,
Yes.
and in particular safety and survival.
I think it's extremely important. That's one reason why I brought up that you take, hopefully, a phone with you and do the Map My Hike or alltrails.com. Because if you have that, then you have a little bit of a safety net. And I know a lot of people will say, yes, but you can't get cell service. Well, you might not get cell service, but it can be tracked because it's by satellite. So I think that is important to do that. I also think that the buddy system that you were mentioning, especially if you're not familiar with these hills, and if you're not
Yes.
familiar with the Eastern Sierras or even Death Valley, and it's more enjoyable if you're with someone, hiking with someone, that you can share experiences and what you find, and if you see an interesting flower in the spring, or if you see an animal like a chuckwalla, you know, you can share that. So it's just a good safety precaution. And another precaution, Tonia, that I think is, I think a lot of people are not prepared when they go out. They're not prepared with enough water, with a sun hat.
Been there, done that. No better, but been
Yes.
there, done that.
With a sun hat,
Right.
even in the winter, in the fall, with a sun hat, sunscreen, plenty of water.
Water.
And I
water.
usually take a backpack with some snacks in it, and sometimes I'll take a little book because I want to write down, or I want to document it on my phone where I was and what I did. So if you've got to invest money in one thing, I'd say the main thing to invest money in would be your shoes, your hiking shoes, because your feet can have you either hating the experience because they don't fit right, or they're rubbing a toe or making a blister, or they can be an experience where you feel like you're in your bedroom slippers and you can go forever.
Right. They really can give you a lift, or
They can.
bring you down.
And I use a hiking pole, and
Okay.
I do it for a couple of reasons, especially if I'm in real high elevations, like over 10,000 feet. I do it because I just feel like it's a good thing to have as far as protection, because you never know. I'm in an area where it's not my area, it's wildlife's area. And
Right.
so I want to respect that, but I want to
Absolutely.
have something in case I need to hold somebody at bay or a person at bay, but mostly
Okay.
animals.
Okay. Well, can you hold a snake at bay?
Well, I can if I,
Have you ever met up with a snake?
oh yes,
Okay.
many times, just
Uh-huh.
3 weeks ago.
Do you just walk back away quickly, or?
I do. I always face whatever animal I am there. I face and walk back slowly. Sometimes I do not make eye contact. It depends. And I really watch their behavior. If they're coiled, I'm going to just walk back and get there as fast as I can without...
Get away
Yes,
as fast as you
yes,
can.
yes.
Because I understand snakes have sort of a heat vibe they pick up, your temperature.
Oh, yes.
And that's how they know you're approaching or someone's coming into
Well,
their space.
and they can actually, they're very sensitive to the vibrations of a footfall.
Oh, that makes
so
sense.
if you're
yes.
hiking and
Yes.
you're walking on the ground, they can sense that.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, I must say, for the viewers' benefit, they do not want you.
Right.
They want to stay away from you.
Mm-hmm.
But if they feel like they're threatened, a lot of people go, well, I want to take a closer picture, or I want to be able to see if I can get it by the tail. That is just, that is not wise. That is
Right.
not wise.
No.
Get a camera with a lens and step back and get a good shot from a good distance back.
Mm-hmm. It was the first question when I moved to the desert. My nephew wanted to know what I was going to do if I met up with a snake, and so.
And we do have a variety of sidewinders, Mojave greens, rattlesnakes, desert rattlesnakes.
Mm.
So we have nature here, and I think that's why a lot of people are attracted to the area. It's really a treasure chest for the outdoors person.
Now, do you take stuff in case you were to get bit by a snake? Do you have things in your backpack?
I do have a first aid kit in my backpack. Yes, I do.
And
And that's another good reason why they should not go alone. Is
Right.
because if they do even stumble or fall or maybe injure an ankle, they have someone else there that can help them either bandage it up or go for help or be with them to help them get out of the situation. But that's really drastic. I don't think that's going to be happening if you're really staying in the area and really do your research and know where you want to go and pace yourself, and you'll have success.
And so if somebody wants to find out more, they can, just Google Rademacher Hills
Absolutely.
or BLM or?
The Bureau of Land Management has been in charge of the land there, and they are the ones that really, I think it was Steve Smith, who worked at the Bureau of Land Management, had an Earth Day back in the early 90s. And it used to be a dump. And he got friends, Boy Scouts, school members, lots of people together and decided to clean it up and to take those trails from the prospectors and really make it into a recreational area for people who lived here or was visiting here. And it's just something that costs nothing. It's public land.
It's public land. It's there for people to go out and enjoy
Absolutely.
and take their kids and.
And there is a Facebook page. I wanted to let you know that.
Oh, yes.
And so a lot of people who are new to Ridgecrest, I find,
You said there were 2 Facebook pages,
there's
right?
2 Facebook pages. One of them is not being updated and utilized as much, but the other one is people that are just taking pictures of because there's a viewpoint at Skytop that you can look out over the entire city of Ridgecrest. And they take pictures of flowers or animals or the trail or their friends and post it on Facebook. So.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Doris. It's been interesting learning about Rademacher Hills and
Well, thank you for having me,
the whole
Tonia.
adventure.
It is an adventure.
Rademacher.
Rademacher.